Hi. I'm kind of nervous.
Now, that's constructing a thought way. That you could have just not said that. We're just saying. Be aware of the thought ways that you are presenting, especially the ones that you are vocalizing. In other words, when you find yourself about to say something that you know is constructing a thought way, where you then stop, pause, think about it, and at least don't articulate it.
Okay. All right. I would like to have a very harmonious relationship with my husband.
Now the words sounded really good, didn't they? It's all right. We're gonna work through this together, and you will have fun eventually. But you know, when you raise your hand, what you're actually saying is, I'm willing to be. Jerry says guinea pig has been replaced with Abrahamster. I'm willing to be the Abrahamster where I am sort of exposing where I am. And so it benefits everyone as we sort of pick our way through this carefully. So it's clear to everyone who is listening to you that you made the most positive statement that you could make. I want to have a wonderful relationship with my husband. But it's clear that as you speak it, because it's one thing and you're standing in another, that even talking about it is painful because you're not where you want to be. Isn't that pretty obvious? So we want to ask all of you, in light of what we've been talking about, there must be a card in here somewhere about that relationship with, are there any relationship cards, a relationship with my husband? In other words, to have a conversation from a feeling place that is clearly in the opposite direction. What good could possibly come of that? To have a conversation about that subject when you feel the way you feel about it, from what we've been talking about here today, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? In other words, she's going to need to explain to us what's going on and build more thought ways. In other words, so this is really an interesting question. In this seminar that Abraham has the nerve of calling the science of deliberate creation, you got to be kidding me. I've come with something that I want to overcome. I've come with something that I want to improve. And they're saying talking about that raw and ragged subject is counterproductive? Yep. So, before we begin, we would like to engage in a conversation in which you can easily get into the vortex. In other words, get into the vortex must come before any good can come from any conversation. So, is there any subject that gets you in there easily? Or is that subject so active and so raw and so present that it just supersedes everything?
It's pretty dominant, but I can think about my children.
Yes? They're sort of related, though.
Yeah. But my son is 6, and he doesn't, he's in the vortex. So
yeah.
He's funny, and he's sweet, and nurturing.
Yeah. What else?
I can talk about how I feel when I teach yoga.
Yeah. You see, but here's the thing that you don't yet get, that we so get that we want to shout it. A lot of others don't get it either, and we so want you all to get it. Do you know that the way you fix your relationship with your husband is by talking about your 6-year-old who doesn't need fixing? Go figure. That by staying off the subject that takes you out of the vortex and on a subject that takes you in the vortex will take you in and will repair anything that matters to you. Because in the vortex already resides a version of the relationship with your husband that is the way you want it to be. But you can't talk about it as it is and get in there. Mm-hmm. So you have to cease the construction of those thought ways While you focus upon the construction of other thought ways that are easy. So you just do anything and everything you can do to stay off the subject that keeps you out and on the subject that lets you in. And after you hang around in there, the relationship that you want will reveal itself to you. Do you believe that? That's exactly the way that it works.
So in the vortex, then the relationship will reveal itself. Does that include my husband?
You tell us, have you been leaving him out of the equation? In other words, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And so every time he misunderstands you, every time he doesn't respect you, every time he's disinterested in you, you put all of the things that you want in the vortex. They're all in there. The version that you want is in there. But you can't have the version you want because what's active in you is the version you've got. Because you're letting what you've got dominate your vibration. You're doing it with your 6-year-old too. He just behaves better.
Most of the time, yeah.
But you see what we're getting at? Almost everybody is letting what is train their frequency. And that's why you're confused about how to get what you want. You think that, well, if you'll behave different, then when I observe you, I'll feel different. And if you don't behave different, then I can't feel different, and therefore I'm really mad at you.
Well, I understand that.
But stay here just for a minute. That's so big. We wanted that to settle in with people, because with all of you is that what is dominating your vibration, and that dominant vibration is preventing you from meshing with what you want. And we want to help you to understand that it's the meshing, it's the vibrational meshing that's missing, not the behavior. Something happened with Esther and someone that she cares about the other day. And she said to Jerry, I'm so mad that I have to be mad. I'm just mad that I'm mad. And she's laughing at herself, because what she means is, I need better behavior from that person. I need better behavior from that person, and I didn't get it, and now I'm mad. If they'd just done what they should have done, I wouldn't have to be mad. And of course she's laughing because she knows better. She knows better, but that's how it feels, doesn't it? When you want to feel good, and that the 6-year-old makes you feel good, but the person you're married to doesn't make you feel good, it makes you just want to shape up and be more like I need you to be so that I can feel good. Because most people are approaching life observing and feeling, observing what is and feeling response, observing what is and feeling response. It's what makes you think you have to control the world, or control your children, or control your employees, or control, because you want to feel good, and if they'd be different, you'd feel better. But the control you're looking for is not control of what they're doing, it's control of where you're looking. It's your own control. And when you show yourself that you have the ability to focus yourself into a different vibration than reality is currently giving you, now you've got it, you see.
I've been listening a lot to your CDs and the DVDs, and I feel like I intellectually get it, and I teach meditation.
But you see, we don't want anybody to intellectually ever get anything.
That's what I mean.
That's why our seminars have devolved into words like irrelevant, doesn't matter, kill me now, irrelevant. In other words, never mind. Gator later. In other words, a sort of a devolving of thought. Because the thought that you've thought yourselves into such quagmires. You've thought yourselves into wars and corners and opinions and unworkable things. We want you to just chill out. We want you to relax and acknowledge that it's in the vortex, and the vortex wants to give it to you. You've just got to do something far simpler, engineer. You've just got to do something far simpler. Far simpler than anything you've ever done before. You don't need psychology. You don't need psychiatry. You don't need anything other than a desire to feel better and an understanding of what it takes.